Welcome back there, Rev Heads. So I know this video is about a week late. I told you I was going to give you my thoughts and opinions and feedback and whatnot on Mustang Week 2025. And even though we're about 7 days post Mustang Week, I owed you that video, and I'm going to give you the video, and that's what this is. I really was just trying to organize my thoughts on how I wanted to present my feedback reference the event. So in my time spent down there last weekend, I got to say that this was probably the least impressive Mustang week I have seen since 2015. Yeah, 2015. That's a fair assessment. And obviously it's gone through a couple of different committees as far as, show who's running the show and that type of stuff and whatnot. So I'm not going to say ownership, but for the most part, ownership, I guess, if you want to call it that. But really, not impressed. Not impressed. I saw an email come through earlier in the week, probably Monday, Tuesday timeframe, that said this was the biggest show, biggest Mustang Week show ever. And I call bullshit. They said they had over 35,000, participants come through there. That part might be true because, Myrtle Beach does attract thousands of people. Mustang Week traditionally is an event that does attract a lot of attention. This year, it was not an event that attracted attention. I spoke with a lot of different owners and vendors alike while I was down there last weekend. And the feedback was pretty across the board, similar in the sense that it wasn't very positive. So I'll get into it, right? The pros, as far as, what I thought was good about Mustang Week. Hey, the weather was nice, right? First time that I can remember in several years where it wasn't 1,000 degrees outside and you weren't sweating your nuts off as soon as you got out of your car to wipe it down or to walk around or to do any other event for that matter. It was a little warm on Saturday. They said it was in the low 90s, but shoot, with the heat index, it felt like it was still in the triple digits. But outside of Saturday, it was in the 80s. That's great weather, as far as I'm concerned. But outside of that, I would be hard pressed to say that there was a lot going on. I mean, the events are stale. The committee hasn't done anything to come up with new events really in, 5-6 years. I mean, let's think outside the box here, people. We don't have autocross anymore. I mean, was it 2 years ago? Maybe that we did the go-kart event, the K1 go-kart event. Start doing something that is worth time. You spend a week down there in Myrtle Beach. There's so much more that can be done. It was, I don't know. I feel like the only big Mustang show that's worth going to anymore is Ponies in the Smokies. And this is coming from somebody that's never been to pits. So I don't even know if they have, events like that. But from all the feedback you hear from owners that go to pits, They don't ever come back saying, "Oh, this was a mediocre event. It was okay. It was this. It was that." But that's all you've heard lately, the last 3-4 years from Mustang Week. Do better. Let's see, car show. Where should I start on that one? Um, I do remember seeing multiple emails come out saying the car show was sold out. I would say that was a load of BS because I walked through the taped off location where the car show was held, and a third of the spots easily were filled with cars. So that means 2/3 of the spots were open. How the hell do you justify it being sold out if you've got that many open spots? Now, either Friday was just jam packed and they decided not to come back on Saturday because they didn't care enough to come pick up their awards. They didn't think they were getting their awards, or they just don't care and you can just mail it to them type of deal. Um, or the committee misrepresented and they really didn't pull the numbers that they said they did. Hard to say. I wasn't there Friday, but I can tell you from what I was there on Saturday, which was the entire day. Saturday was slim pickings. Saturday, it looked like a cars and coffee in a small town. Pretty pathetic for a national level car show. Vendors. Okay, that's ding number 2. I can remember so many years upon years where you just walk around there and there are vendors like on top of vendors with deals out the yin yang, right? Mustang Week was normally the time where you wanted to go down there if you wanted to get a rear seat delete kit, or you wanted to get carbon fiber steering wheels or carbon fiber insert door panels, whatever the case might have been for your car, right? You wanted to look at wheels. You wanted to look at God knows what else. Hoods. I don't know. Cervini's, sells scoops, hoods, mufflers, body kits. So does CJ Pony Parts. They sell all sorts of parts for your cars, right? And so do a host of other vendors. You used to see vendors on top of vendors down there. This year, when you walk down there, there were so many open spots where vendors used to sit. It was ridiculous. And when I talked with the vendors and asked them what was going on, it's like, I mean, did you guys just leave early, or did they get scared off, or what was happening? And the few that were honest enough to talk said that it a lot of them got rubbed the wrong way because there was a substantial price jack, and I guess they just decided it wasn't worth it. So, you've got, I think there seems to have been a lot of misrepresentation going on with Mustang Week, because you see, the emails go out and their flyers go out, and they list all the supposed vendors that they had lined up for the show, but then you show up for the show and there's like 15 of them. So how you have 50 or 75 names listed on your freaking sheet, but you have 15 and present, and none of your main ones. Like, shoot, Ford Performance normally has 2 full trailers on display there. Half. Same with Shelby. They normally have 2 full trailers on display. They had 1. Half. Roush brought the same stale get up as they've been bringing for the last 3 years, which is kind of pathetic. Um, as somebody who's been a Roush fan, I mean, as you can tell in the background, um, I'm a big Roush proponent or advocate, not proponent. Big Roush advocate, right? Love Roush products, but they basically pulled themselves out of the Mustang game in 21-22 after they did those track packs, and now all they're sticking with is the freaking pickup trucks. And yeah, they came out with a Nightmare recently, but that's it, man. And that was the only new piece they had on display there at Mustang Week this year. Mustang Week, we brought a F-150 Nightmare, a supercharged, essentially street racing single cab F-150. I'm disappointed in Roush. There's no other way around it. They claim that they lose money on the Mustang line. You did all your R&D 3 years ago, almost now, when you built your supercharger for the S650 platform, right? Most of your money is comped now. All you got to do is just build the damn car. If you built the car, you could start to regain some of your market share that you have now substantially lost and forfeited to companies like RTR. I would think you guys would be a little upset that you're losing your share to RTR. I mean, I would be. Shelby's got a crap product right now, in my opinion. They're doing better than you. They're still pumping out cars. Not quality cars, but they're pumping out cars. Hell, even Celine had, and they had nothing new on display. Nothing new. All they had, the newest car they had on display was the 550 platform, and then they had some older stuff that was even older than that, Gen 5, Gen 4 stuff. They did not have uh, the S650, which I would have anticipated them to have. The only one that had S650 stuff there on site, other than Shelby, was RTR. So, I mean, all in all, it was a disappointing Mustang week. Disappointing Mustang week. Um, and I can say that I'm very glad that I didn't take the time to, uh, invest in going down there, leaving work, and having to deal with all of the. Uh, I'm not going to say headache because it's not really a headache, but playing catch up. When you come back from taking several days off, because when you take off for events like that are expected to be fun and whatnot, and then you go down there and that's the type of return on investment that you get, which really isn't a return on investment. It's more of a depreciation. That to me is just, it's a kick in the stomach, man. It's a kick in the stomach. Um, to me, it just looks like Mustang Week is dying, and that's kind of the same sentiment that I got when I talked with many other owners, which is unfortunate because a lot of them are very passionate about Mustang Week. They've been going a lot longer than I've been going, and I've only been going for about 10 years, minus the 2 that I've missed, so 8 years, because I missed this year, and then I didn't go in. I think 2018 was the other year I didn't go. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of that's my thoughts. Car show was a dud. Wasn't much there. I mean, you guys saw the video I posted. Granted, I sped through it, but there was maybe 100, 150 cars tops. Usually, there's 5 times that amount of cars there easily. I mean, the show is normally maxed out, and they're not just saying that to put it on a flyer. They're saying that because that's the truth. Um, I mean, the vendors there are typically, there's so many of them there that you have a hard time making it to all the vendors. I mean, you have to like pre-plan your Friday and your Saturday so you can get to all the vendors and you can walk through the different products they have on display, and you can check out the deals they got, and you can go through and you can buy all your detailers, and you can check out the t-shirts and the other apparel they've got. You can check out all the car parts, whatever it is that you're interested in, and you can go through all that stuff, right? Not this year. You could have walked all through that shit in 15-20 minutes. I mean, it was a legit letdown. Legit letdown. It took me longer to go to Twin Peaks and eat a freaking Philly cheesesteak than it did for me to walk through the car show and the vendors. But that's okay. It's okay. Maybe 2026 will be better, but who knows? At this point, I don't have a hopeful outlook as to what Mustang Week next year will look like in Myrtle Beach. I am looking forward to going to Ponies in the Smokies, though, so that is on my calendar for. I want to say that's around March, April timeframe. I think it's March timeframe, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I've never been there, but I think it's in March, and it is something that I am looking at attending. So, finally going to try to work that into the schedule so I can make it up there. But yeah, so let me know what you guys thought of Mustang Week. I know, again, we're about a week late with the video, but drop it down in the comments. Let me know if you thought it was great, not so great, what you thought they could have done better, what you like to see at Mustang Week, right? Maybe drop a comment in there as to what you thought your favorite vendor was, because there wasn't very many of them there. But I would say probably the best one there was either, it's got to be a flip up between either Shelby or RTR as far as just the stuff they had available. And that's pretty sad because, again, normally you've got tons to choose from. Tons to choose from. But again, it's is what it is. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.